we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Margaret Pinard. I'm a historical fiction and fantasy author and eclectic reader. But on Fridays, if it's a first Friday or a final Friday, I'm a productivity streamer, meaning we get together to work on stuff virtually together across the airwaves. So welcome. You're on Booktube in this productivity streaming side of Booktube. And it is a final Friday. Does that surprise you? Is July gone in a snap? Tell me about it. So first Friday, final Friday. I don't connect them. I just set aside a work party time. So I don't keep myself accountable to stuff that I've set out to do. It's nothing so exact as that. It's just come with maybe a list, or you take the first sprint to write your list, which I have been known to do. This time, the first sprint, I'm going to be writing down some of the final things I'm going to be working on for Agitation August, graphics, emails, communications, jazz like that. If you don't know, Agitation August is a huge event in my head. In my head, it's huge. It's the first time. I usually do something in August. It's like an intensive event. A couple years ago, it was fire themed. Last year it was wind down themed, like rain. And then this year it's agitation. So it's up energy again. And we're going to be talking to someone every weekday in August about a book that has agitated them and helped them with critical thinking so that we can engage the community in critical reading. Because I think that's something the Booktube could do really well. So that is the goal. And hopefully you'll come by and converse with all our lovely guests. So we're going to get started on our first sprint after I say hello to the chat, which was snappier than usual today. So I just saw Ven first. He's early for a stream. I call sorcery. So, of course, I said this is precisely when you meant to arrive for a Lord of the Rings reference. And then I had a K-pop Demon Hunters reference. Play games with us. And I'm very happy to report the first person has done my tag from 2 weeks ago. It is Rachel from RK Stumbling Bear. She did a great job. I had read most of the books she had talked about or knew of them. So we share half a brain or something. It was fun. So go check out Rachel's video, RK Stumbling Bear. That would be fun. And she's got a great channel focused on sci-fi, fantasy, and indie authors. Yes. And then we had some silliness. And then I asked about this. I saw a clip of The Crown, and they were talking to the Queen, and they were saying she studied the Constitution more than anyone. And I was like, what? Hold up. That there isn't an English Constitution. And Ven confirmed there is no formally written document called a Constitution. It's a series of unspoken agreements. It's an institution, it's a tradition, and it's still working, sort of, exactly. Well, you just need to look over at the US to see what can happen to that. Hi, Rachel D. Adams. Happy Friday. Oh, I love your profile, Rainbow Dragon. All the good things. We've got an Eva in the house. Hello. Final Friday. Yeah, it's all right. We like the alliteration here. Yeah. Looking at the people in charge. Yeah, Cat's in a trench coat. Hi, JC. Hello. JC got her sprinting on last night, but maybe she's back for more because it's afternoon where she is. Jim's book reading and stuff. Hello. Nice to see you. Have you decided on your intro yet? Did you get enough votes? Diane Dobson, Barton, and Art. Hello. Looking at radical haircuts. Oh, interesting. Doing some research. I like it. Doing some identity, maybe consideration, because hair is a big thing, at least for me. The whole year has gone in a snap so far. It's true. Rachel says, OMG, July came and picked me up and bunked me around, and now it's trying to let me go without a fight, as if apologizing. I think it's probably a busy season for your writing. I'm not sure. I normally will just see you on the Breaking the Block on Sunday mornings. So I don't know if I've gotten much recently on the busyness of the season, but I will assume since everyone seems to always be busy. Mojo is here. Monique, hello. Finished the draft for book coming out in September. Working on scriptish for YouTube. Excellent. Hello, Hazelnut Ramblings. Hi, friends. Congrats on finishing to Mojo. The few comments I got about the intro was to keep it. No, see, are you gonna allow yourself to be influenced then? Like how is Booktube gonna interact? How much are you going to let it in, I should say? Dan is laughing. Monique says thank you. Oh, I keep a couple more comments. We're at 5 minutes, so we're going to jump into our first sprint. Ven's looking at all his hair dye right now, going to probably bleach it tonight and then decide how bright I want it. Go big, go big or go home. Hi, Catpaw. Hello, hello. And Jim is away, so he's just posting shorts and not regular videos because the phone, I'm guessing, is the easier conduit. Makes sense to me. All right, well, let's hop in. I have a little question if you want to feel like answering. I have an answer for this one. So we'll sprint for 24 minutes until half hour, and I will mute myself. I'll do my thing, and then we'll come back and see what we got done. So good luck, everyone, and I'll see you in 24 minutes. I'll see you then, but I won't hear you till then. See your writing. You won't hear me till then. Anyway, you know the drill. Okay, looks like we're back after our first sprint. I may need to clean that mouse because there's a lot of like little steps. It doesn't just go across the screen. It's sort of annoying. I keep trying to be okay with it, but you know, the little things, it's the little things. So how did that sprint go for you? Let me know. I'm going to catch up with the comments that were in that sprint. How far did I get? How far did I get? Answering the question. There we go. Okay, so Eva may have missed my earlier comment about guess what happened again. And then I said, and then she said, I just binged the Beast games, which I've never heard of. And Big Brother is my summer program. Okay, very cool. Big Brother being like the sort of false reality show about people living together, I'm guessing. And the Beast games, I don't know. Sounds like a spinoff from the Hunger Games, but maybe it's like working out. I don't know. Dan said they're thinking about Annie Lennox here. So I'm not sure what that is because I picture someone with like bleach blonde and very short hair, but that could be wrong. Jim says, not watching any series at present. The last one I watched was Lie to Me, which I'm not familiar with either. I mean, I asked this question because I have one small series that I'm watching. And of course, like the vast ocean of series that everyone has access to is much beyond my ken. So I'm happy for everyone enjoying their series at the moment. Hello, Gareth. He came in right after I finished an email to Gareth. So it's funny. We have a Gwenna too. Hey, yo. Was here earlier, but got sucked into productivity. So not a bad thing. Not at all. And we had Hermie, the book hermit. Lovely. Hope everyone's having a nice day. I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, which some people in the chat might have some things to say about, and Page Boy today. Nice. Very nice. Hi, Jocelyn. Jocelyn says good afternoon. And then I was just responding to everyone in the comments with what I basically just said, so I won't repeat it. Jim was giving me the cue while I was off the tab, so I wouldn't have helped anyway, but I was still in the minutes. I did not fail. Gwenna says, got 3 chapters in the plot grid. Still working on the plot grid. Excellent. So close to being done. And then I can finally have a solid visual of my book. I mean, 14 subplots. I can't even imagine. I wonder if I thought about it, if I could have 4 subplots, because I have stuff going on, but it doesn't like track throughout because I don't use a plot grid. It sort of rises and falls, comes in, comes out, you know. I guess it's intuition. Went okay for Eva. What you working on, Eva? I don't think you said. Gwenna says, I've already noticed 2 places where I need to weave in plot devices sooner. So safe to say it's doing its job. Excellent. We love a tool that does its job. Ben says, I'm watching Noah have a breakdown on games. Next time I will start reading Boys in the Valley by Philip Fracassi. Is that another indie book? You're going gangbusters on the indie books, which is very exciting. Mojo says, came up with 6 video ideas. Nice. So you said script-ish. And it sounds like if you got the ideas, maybe you like sketched out. So that's well on your way. Well done. Eva says the Beast Games is a spinoff of Squid Games. Oh, okay. But without deaths. I see. Mr. Beast is an influencer that pays people to play games. Real life Hunger Games. LOL. Yeah, I saw a candy bar in the store last week. I took a picture of it because it said Mr. Beasts above the candy bar name. Like he has his own candy bar line. It's like the merging of the real and online is wild sometimes. Big Brother is the reality show, but I enjoy social experiments in general. Yes, okay, that makes sense. They've been going for a really long time. Like, didn't they come out in college? I don't know. Jocelyn says, I'm still reading Deal with the Elf King. Awesome. Oh, man. Okay. I do remember you saying that a while ago, but I have no idea how long ago it is because we've lost our sense of time in this multiverse. reality. Jim says, I'm rereading Pride and Prejudice. I'm reading The Dinosaur 4 during the sprint, I presume. Interesting. So, you know what I just randomly picked up and finished for Jane Austen July by the skin of my teeth? Not a Jane Austen book, but a Jane Austen book in which, not a Jane Austen book, but a Jane Austen associated book in which everyone here rereads Jane Austen's books like obsessively, which is interesting. And in case you know my system, here's what the spine looks like on the bottom and on the top. So we'll get to that review in the next wrap up. Mojo says they're binge watching Midsummer Murder. That's the Canadian one, right? I think Midsummer, but that's the way they spell it in like the Nordic crime things. I'm getting it mixed up. No, this is the way they spell it in the TV show. Never mind. Forget that. On season 16, 7 more to go. I'll wait until season 24 is available. Holy cow. I did not know they had that many seasons. Is that years or is that like 2 seasons in a year? Because I don't think they've been going that long. Cat Paws answer. I'm not watching anything but finished Homecoming by Kate Morton yesterday. I do like Kate Morton. She's got like thick doorstopper books. Gave it 3.5 stars in my journal. Kate Morton has lost her automatic buy status in my book. Yeah. I read 2 and I think they were solid, but I think she was sort of slipping into what I perceive as sort of like tawdry plot lines or devices. So I was kind of like, oh, well developed, interesting characters and premise, but like now I kind of know what your thing is. So yeah, I didn't go back for any more. Ven says, it's not this time. Oh, not an indie, it's a folk horror. Oh my god, a folk horror. I don't know if that's gonna be better or worse. Boys in the Valley. Is it about Wales? Philip Fracassi. Sounds Italian. Why not? Let's set it in Wales, where there's lots of valleys and hills. Eva says, are there currently 23 seasons to binge? Because that gets my attention. So, Mojo, I think that's a question to you. Feastables. He does have his own candy line, and apparently it's more ethical than other American chocolates. Wow. Okay. Well, now that sounds worthy of a little bit of investigation, doesn't it? Because American chocolate is such a not great alternative. So I've stuck with like small chocolate makers and See's candy because that's my upbringing and it's hard to break away. And Swiss and other ones that are like creamier and more chocolate. But you do intrigue me, Eva. I may have to look into this. Mr. Beast has had candy for a bit. I just appeared in my store so that I noticed like this week. So I hear it's not that good, but I haven't tried. All right. Well, maybe this is a candy bar to send to our taste test champion, Mr. JD. That'd be fun. According to him. Haven't looked into it. Yeah. Trust but verify, I think is the byline there. Gwyneth says, Mr. Beast did a collab with Zaxby's Southern Fried Chicken chain, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a really good meal deal. Okay. Yes, I need the noise. Okay, so all the seasons of binging, excellent. Gwyneth says it came with one of his candy bars. Mediocre, but honestly, who's going to complain about chocolate? Not me. Not you. Not anyone with a brain. Right? Maybe. I mean, if it's made by like child slaves in West Africa, then I guess I will complain. But yeah, I get your point. Thank you so much for the rec. Eva's set with another show to try. Hope it's good. Dan says Mr. Beast will be at Vid Summit in October. I don't know what that is. I assume it's like a content creator conference or convention. Very cool. I don't think I have strong opinions on chocolate. I have enough for the both of us, Eva. Don't you worry. Jim says a lot of chocolate comes from exploited child labor in West Africa. Yes, there you go. I think you probably had this comment out before I said it. English. What's that about? I'm not sure what that's about. Eva, I agree. I'll take about any chocolate. Yeah, if you're desperate, that's what we get to. Rachel says, I feel behind on television binging stuff, but I'm keeping a list. That's good, because then you don't feel like you're missing out, but you still have like part of the conversation because it's on your radar. Smart. In the meantime, I'm rereading The Witch's Crystal by Devin Gambrell. Yay. And I started The King's Weaver, not sure on the author. Okay. Yay. If anyone is looking for indie author fantasy, The Witch's Crystal is the first in a series that I think is completed now. And I am seeing her Kickstarter stuff. So I think her Kickstarter might have just finished or is in the final days. I don't know if someone can update me on that. Eva says to Jim, yes, Mr. Beast claims to not use labor in that way. Yeah. I put an extra M. English. I need the noise. Oh, Midsummer. Okay, that was way back. Sorry. You're good. You're good. Yeah. That was me trying to figure out if it was Midsummer, Summer, or Somer, like the British way or something for some reason. I don't know. There were two different things, but anyway, erase, delete from my memory here. Yes, he does. That's about Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast chocolate tastes a lot like Cadbury's, a little too sweet for me. I think I will probably side with Gwen then. I like a darker chocolate. Jocelyn, I do. Life runs on it. Chocolate. Never had Mr. Beast, though. Yeah, me neither. Dark chocolate all the way. Rachel's my girl, but yum. Yum, yum. Hi, Morgan. Hello, hello. 24 series, 2 main detectives, and I'm at the 6th. 6th sidekick-ish. Gotcha. Wow. Midsummer Murders has 24 series. I was wondering about the timing because like if it's a season per year and they like take a break over the summer, that's a lot of episodes. But if it's like some of the series these days where it's like, oh, we have 10 episodes here in the spring and then 10 episodes here in like the random middle of the fall. And I don't understand seasons in TV anymore. That's why I was like, how long is that? 2 main detectives and lots of sidekicks that they cycle through. Fair enough. Yes, dark chocolate is the king of chocolates. Pricier than the rest, but my son loves it for the brand, so I've tried it. Mr. Beast probably, yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Dee Dee. Sorry. Oh, boy. Let's send JD some Mr. Beast chocolate. Again, July, not the best time to send chocolate that will melt to PR. But yeah, maybe November would be the first time. And it's kind of like sending coals to Newcastle because I'm sure Cortez chocolate is going to be so much better, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun. Now I need to try it. Yeah, we're getting everyone's curiosity piqued. Author tube, Mr. Beast chocolate tag. Oh my gosh, that's a fun idea. Yeah, are we still hating on beer chili spaghetti? Midsummer is English. It's English spelling. Okay. And that's why it's Midsummer Murders. Okay. Why was I associating it with Oh, I know why. Because there's a terrible movie called Midsummer. But I think that's spelled the American way, and it's about like some Nordic cult. That's why. Sorry, Monique, to pull you into that in my head. We got food differences of opinions. I'll skim right over. Dark chocolate is the king of chocolate. I'll even go so far as to say that it's the emperor of chocolate. Yeah, the only place where we like an emperor. Ooh, okay. I figured it would be on Ven's radar. Ven has got the Witch's Crystal to read on his e-reader. Excellent. Eva says, my tastes change so often I must always taste the chocolate to determine if it's good. Interesting. That's like self-aware, you know. I think most people would say the chocolate's not good and it's not me, but if you know your taste changed and maybe it's just not your cup of tea, your scale anymore. That makes sense. Hi, Jack. Sci-fi finds. Hello, hello. Anti-productivity curse. Well, the chat is keeping me awfully occupied, so I think we're already anti-productivity today. Oh, it's been infected. Does that mean I can blame you? Yeah, Kappa. I think that's what he's signing up for. Yeah, we'll send it in January to be sure. Yeah, we might need to wait like the full 6 months. Jack says I also have it because I'm way behind on recording videos. Oh. Did you participate in the readathons in July and June? Because I know there was some genre, some Western, some sci-fi that maybe you were doing all the reading for, and that's why you didn't have time to record videos. I'm giving you an out here, Jack. Why did you think that movie was terrible? I haven't seen it. I just saw it, and I was talking about cults with someone the other day and how uh, who was I talking to? I think Allison, but it was because of a Mighty Blaze book. We had a person on who had written a book about a cult, and she said they make her really angry. And I was like, that's a thing I can identify with. So I just don't like glorifying cults and like giving them more space, kind of like some people don't debate with fascists. Like I don't like to give cults space, although I do think people need to know the dangers and arm themselves with critical thinking skills. So yeah. Diane says, adding Mr. Beast chocolate bar to grocery delivery. I blame you all. Okay, well, you have to come back and tell us how it is. Sorry. Yeah, that's funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was 15 minutes of chat. I'm so glad y'all are here. That was really fun. $9 for a pack of 4 bars. So 220-ish. That's pretty cheap. That makes me a little suspicious of his no slave labor claim. We'll see. As the chocolate industry has grown over the years, so has the demand for cheap cocoa. Most cocoa farmers earn less than $1 per day and income below the extreme poverty line. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So it's regional. It was like $1.50 per bar for Eva in the same 4-pack to order online. Interesting. Oh, Jack, you don't have to be asked. I mean, you don't have to be asked unless you're a co-host, I guess. But you can always read books for them. That's sort of the point, is just to like join in and talk about it and then tag people. Yeah. That's much more than other options in my area. How big are these bars that they're $1.50? I would not get squat for $1.50 in chocolate here in Portland. I'd get like one of those like little tiny tasters for $1.50. Sampler pack. All right, chocolate discussion. You're gonna definitely distract me, and I need to get back to. Let's see. I did emails. I did a graphic. I did another email. I need to figure out what I need to do next, or maybe even get another chapter done in edits, because those are coming at a glacial pace. So we're gonna jump into sprint at 50. So let me change my banner here. 50, 25 would be 15, right? So let's go until 15. And instead of what series are you watching and enjoying, what should be our next question? I didn't come up with a different one. This is going to be a hard one. So we'll see if anyone can answer this. What's the best bingo prize you've won? Maybe you've never won a bingo prize. Maybe Agitation August is your chance. 60 grams. Diane, don't give me grams. I am only thinking in ounces. I don't know what 60 grams is. You could, that sounds like ketamine. I don't know what 60 grams equals. Oh, yeah. Cat Paw's allergic. And so, yeah, that's very generous of you. I will definitely split it among the rest of us. Let's see, we're talking about chocolate prices. And it is 50 after, so I'm gonna mute myself and dive into the next 25-minute sprint. Good luck, guys. Try to focus. You can do it. Okay, why is the math so hard? I know so little. The math is so iffy. Okay, so where did I leave off? It's like 49. Welcome back, everybody. We just finished our second sprint, and we were talking about chocolate. Best bingo prize. I think Mojo wins. So let's see. Comment. Okay, so here we are. Jocelyn says, I've never won a bingo prize. I think I remember when I was in about 7th or 8th grade, we had a church. I don't know if there's a silent auction or a bingo, but they had a lot of donated items. And I had this framed print of a Native American child that I thought was really cool for a long time. So that's probably a good memory. Best prize I won. Diane says, I understand the not knowing what 60 grams is. Kansas here. Yeah. So they're talking about price differences between Eva and Diane, I think. So ounces and grams, and then the price for a pack for 6. So I think Diane might have the same thing, but the price is different. So just verifying this. Yeah. Eva says, my son had $5 to spend. That's why I remember it was 6. It's just fun. Kat came in and said, hello, hello, hello. And I'm glad I could get this from context that WM is Walmart, because I think of that as one word with a W. So the syllable thing, it just didn't enter my mind. Here's Monique Joyner Seedlex answer, which won, I think, for best bingo prize, $850. I laughed because I was saving money to buy a house and had an extra 20 and said, what the heck, I might as well play. That's so funny. Well done. Well done. Eva says, mine are also from Walmart, but not online. It's a neighborhood market sort of Walmart. But I think the packaging is the same, so it would be just a price difference. Yeah, gotta love that. Mojo, gotta trust those instincts. And Diana says, that is awesome. Yeah, way to go. Woohoo! I've been to neighborhood markets in more populated areas. My town has 1,800 people, 1 stoplight, and is 15 minutes from a regular Walmart only, aka Boonies, or Boonies plus 1 mile, which I don't understand, but maybe other people understand it. Tiffany says, hello all, just dropping in to kiss the like button. Hello. Hey, Tiff. Nice to see you last night. That was fun. And then I asked if anyone had read The Hum and the Shiver, which is like a 15-year-old book, at least, I think. It's been on my shelf for ages, and I picked it up, and I'm like, do I just give this away? Do I try to read it? Is it going to be fast-paced? I could look up Storygraph's reviews, but I figured I'd poll the chat. And then I had this in a review that I read, a solitary, resentful, gin-soaked lesbian grammar snob. And then they also called her a crank. And I was like, oh, that doesn't sound very inviting. No. Rachel says, no, I haven't read The Hum and the Shiver, but I kind of want to now. And I said, actually, you might like it. It's a fantasy set in the Tennessee mountains. But yeah, been on my shelves forever. So I was waffling. I think it might be too gory. We'll see. The one that I quoted was from a review of The Mystery of the Crooked Man. So if anyone's wondering about that. It's urban fantasy, but where it's set makes me also think of Appalachian folklore. That is what they're trading on. I don't know the background of the author, but it feels like a lot of it is sort of taking the folklore and making it into fantasy. One review I just saw on Reddit says it has a lot more sex than the reader was accustomed to. Oh, and it reads facts. Well, that is not a dismaying factor for me. I may have to pick it up out of curiosity as I grew up around a bunch of Appalachian folklore. Yeah, that could be fun. Taking a 15-minute no screen break. Sounds good, Diane. I will do that with lunch after we're finished, after our 3rd sprint here. Yeah, Monique says, thanks to everyone. Everyone's saying that's such a cool thing. Trust your instincts. Gwyneth says, 1 more chapter done. Got 2 into reading the manuscript again. How do you get too into reading your own manuscript? In my defense, it's the climax and it's fun. Yeah, that's a good thing. I think that's a good sign. You need no defense for reading your MS. Same, same. Rachel says, I've moved through half of this chapter. It's very important to capture the emotions in this one, so it's slower to revise. Well done. What did I do during that sprint? I think it was email and then looking at dates for August and when things need to get done by. I have so many things going on at the same time that I'm trying to like not reverse engineer, backwards plan. I think when I had Rachel on the channel to do a planning thing, we were talking about like reverse planning, and so that's what I'm trying to do. Eva says, I have a super Walmart and a market within 2 miles of me. If I go 30 miles, I have many, many more. But rural Illinois, so can't relate. Yeah. Interesting how they snap up that market. Monique says, worked on voiceover script-ish for Tour and Atomic Bomb Shelter we took earlier this week. Oh, I see. So you took footage of a tour that you did earlier this week of an atomic bomb shelter, and you worked on the voiceover script. Got it. Hubby says there's another one on the outer side of the city. We'll need to take a bus to get there. That sounds pretty cool. It sounds kind of up Elaine's alley for like touring cool things. Too bad it's across an ocean. Rachel says, as readers, do you like the climactic scene to be the end of the villain, or do you like the villain to make a twist and threaten again closer to the end? Ooh, good question. I think this depends on whether there's more in a series, right? I'm trying to think. I think I would probably like it to be the end of the villain because there's other stuff to sort out, like the characters' relationships to each other that survive. Like, how do they survive the calamity? Do they have to pick up the pieces or apologize or, renew something? I don't like really fast drop-off endings. That was one of the things I always got annoyed at by Anne Perry is she ended up and there'd be like 3 paragraphs and you're like, that's not a denouement. Thank you, Miss Lady. Yeah, we're just laughing about the crossing an ocean thing, I think. And then Rachel says, this is book 5 of this series, the last book, and there's the characters' new lives to show at the end. I would definitely say like the climax you need more time, so push the end of the villain to the climax. But what do other people think? Let me be expansive and open the floor here. But the twist was a possibility, but it bothers me, the twist. So do you have to explain why the twist doesn't happen? Could you hint at it to come? Kind of like, we solved this, everyone's happy and tired, but like this is going to be the rest of our lives future. So this is what we have to look forward to. And this is why we need to stick together. That kind of thing. I do not. I don't remember which question I asked already. That was less than a minute ago. It does not have to be a twist. Okay. Oh, yeah. Recently, like in the past year, I've seen several iterations of a meme that uses like some trailer music, like high drama music. And basically, it's like one shot until the end and the music changes. And like someone opens their eyes, it looks like a dead body. And then it goes to black and it says a Michael Bay production, because apparently that's something Michael Bay is known for, is like throwing a twist, wriggling possibility in at the end, which I think is funny. It leaves the door open if you want to do that, but I don't know that it would dissatisfy readers if they would want that whole storyline explored if you've already been in with them for 5 books. That's not my kind of reader, so I can't predict. I can't like forecast for that. Other opinions, other readers, other types of readers in the chat. He's had 5 books to become an obnoxious villain. So the big climactic scene can be it, and then we can have the denouement. That's what I would recommend because there's usually a lot of pieces to pick up and, like, you don't wanna belabor it, but you do need time to do that. Come down for me. Again, not the way Anne Perry does it, but I didn't like the way she did it, so that's exciting. Y'all, I have not done very well staying on task with, like, self-edits. I still haven't found that scene where I need to change the real life character. So, will I do that now? Will I do that now? No, because I have to well, actually, I did it. I had to get more information, so I think I sent the email. I can wait, so maybe I can do some edits. All right, let's do that. We'll start on 27. Okay, we're gonna start at 27, so I'm gonna change the banner. 27, 47. So we'll just do 20 minutes. How about that? Jump in, and then question of the day. What else can I ask? There. All right, so I'll mute myself and see you guys in 21 minutes, apparently. Yeah, because I can't make it exact when I jump on a sprint. Okay. See you then. It's 47. All right. What's for lunch? It's lunchtime for me, but different for other people around the world. So, how did we do in our third and final sprint? I gave up and went to read the rest of the chapter that I had set myself for today for one of my Agitation August reads. So, I finished the chapter. I'm on page 97 of Steering by Starlight. Okay, chapter. No big earth ground shaken, I should say, like the second chapter did. So just fine, moving along. How about everyone else? I don't know I do know what I'm planning for lunch, but I've been planning it for like a week and I haven't gotten around to it. So we'll see if that happens today. Catching up on the chat. Here was where we were. Eva said, why does the indie bookstore closest to me without crossing the river have to be 40 minutes away? That's 2.5 Walmarts, which I thought was a funny unit of measurement. I answered my own question. I've got black beans that I defrosted from the freezer, and I've got taco seasoned soy. So like it could be like a beans and protein. I might put it in rice paper. I don't know. First time trying, and I think it might not work, which is why I'm avoiding trying it. Kappa said, to clarify, I vote for, he said, 5 books to become an obnoxious villain. So the big climactic scene and then the denouement. And then they said, cool, learned a new word, which is nice. Monique says, for me, it's dinner. So pepper steak and buffalo sauce, mac and cheese and mashed potatoes, which sounds amazing. That sounds like a feast, Mojo. Which, fair. Friday night feast sounds good. Kappa says, too hot to eat, just more electrolytes and green iced tea with lime. It's important to stay hydrated, that's for sure. Sounds like a good choice. And they laughed at 2.5 Walmarts, just like I did. Eva says that's a pretty large radius. Someone come open an indie bookstore here. 40 miles, yeah. Yep. Eva says, I can get to either Barnes & Noble or Books A Million within 25 minutes without crossing the river. I guess they pushed them out. Yeah, that was the 90s move. But they're coming back, so you never know. Keep your eyes open. Have you like searched the Google Maps to see if there's any new ones popping up? We get them all the time in Portland, but you know, something might happen. But Eva says our libraries are amazing. Yes, which is good. Just good safety net. JD's ears were burning and he dropped it. It's the final Friday of July. Where is this year gone? I know. That means we're past halfway. We're like almost 2/3 of the way through the year. Hi. Quick hello. Yeah, we're almost done here, finishing up our last sprint. We were talking about chocolate and Mr. Beast chocolate, and then I said, ooh, that would be a good one to send you to taste test. Yeah, that's why we said we'd have to wait till like December or January. Have not tried it though. Okay. I was gobsmacked when I saw it on the grocery shelf. I was like, wait, what? That Mr. Beast? But apparently people in the chat have known about this for a while. And I've tried it. It's a Walmart collab. Plenty on my radar that has my ears burning. Faux show. Announcements. I finally have internet. Way to go. You persevered. You made it through the wilderness, as we say in Madonna land. Rachel finished the scene. Nice. Yay. Exciting. Gwenna says 1 scene into the plot grid and 1.5 scenes to go. So I'll finish that up and then head home for lunch. Thanks for hosting. Of course. So nice to see you again, Gwenna. JD says currently reading Irish Thunder, Life of Mickey Ward. Is that a boxer or a wrestler? I went through it. Great read, though. What's for lunch? JD's reheating pizza. Excellent. This combination of plaid is top shelf. I don't have a combination. It's just one. Is there any plaid in the... Is there any other plaid in the frame? I don't think so. I think it's just the one shirt. It's flannel, so it's got the 90s vibe. JD is approving. Yeah, Mojo's got the juice here. Oh, Mojo's also got book 3 romance release. So we've got the link for that. Sounds great. Link to pre-order. Awesome. Eva says started looking at bookmobiles. Oh, that's another option. Maybe they'll come temporarily to your area. There you go. And released 2 weeks ago a nonfiction. Is this about writing? Or is this like travel based? I don't know. I don't know what your nonfiction is about, Mojo. Curious though. JD says, LOL, I will be making a video about that and many other things about the internet. Yes, because we haven't seen you in a while, and I understand. Since the AWC, there's been a lot of shit to take care of. So I'm glad to see you here, friend. And Mojo's got the link for coming out next Thursday. Okay. Boxer. Okay. Blue collar guy, down to earth, and the color. Oh, combination of plaid. Okay, gotcha. Meaning the the colors in the plaid. All right. Cream and caramel and the stripes. Thank you. Mojo's giving us all these links because they're trying to get ahead for September's trip. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that's a hard thing. Like I was saying, I'm trying to backwards plan. I haven't done this in a while. It just sort of comes in waves, whether I can like think it through. Sometimes I just gotta take it as the what word am I looking for? As the I'm gonna get in trouble. As the sauce is flying. How about we go with that? But normally I like to think ahead and plan carefully. And so my contribution to just like remind people, we've got the big old readathon coming up in August. So sign on to get notifications for any of those writers or readers, books you're particularly keyed into. But also Sunday, I've got a chat with indie bookstore owner Ali Shaw, and maybe Eva can ask her questions about what it's like to open an indie bookstore or a bookmobile, or whether she considered that. Who knows? But yeah, so Sunday's stream will be a TRC. It'll be a chat with Allie about activism and like coming to terms with shitty stuff, which is great because one of the groups that I'm working with resilient stuff is through Allie's bookstore, Bold Coffee and Books. So she's great, and I'm sure we'll have a great conversation Sunday morning Pacific time. So that's my little preview. And what else? Anything else? Last comment? As for Mickey and one of the 3 boxers, I named a character after Mark S. Thunder Ward. That's quite a name. What's the one I'm thinking of? There's a folk tale that has like same rhythm to it that just came to mind, but it's gone. When Mojo says one is Money Mindset, the other is an Orisha, which is the name of my publishing company, Oshun. Oh, very cool. So I assume it's like a smaller length, and it's like about the folklore and religion surrounding African goddess Oshun. Very cool. And then what is Money Mindset? All right, cool. I like the different directions. That's definitely how to survive in the indie market. Mark S. play on word Marquez, Juan Manuel Marquez, Thunder from Arturo Thundergatti, and Ward from Mickey. So you smashed up. See, your references are so deep that I don't I don't know. You'll have to like have a specific post about anyone who gets these references because they're very woven into the fabric. That's some special sauce right there. I like to be 2 to 3 months ahead now, if I can even get a month ahead on YouTube videos. Yeah. I haven't seen any of those from me for a while, so maybe I'm just off the cliff. That's a hand from Ben, and we're gonna be signing out momentarily. So get all your chats in while you can. Hence all the pen names. Being 3 months ahead. Huh. Okay. Oh, JD says I can do that for every story. Oh. Then maybe you've got a video that is about like your most memorable Easter eggs and having people relate to them. Like, because I'm sure when they're that much of a deep cut, it's really special when you make that connection with the person. I've only had a handful over my 7 books so far, and You know, you've got 20 plus, so obviously you have more fodder, but I think you also do more work to put those references in there. And I'm just putting history in there. So I think maybe the same difficulty level in finding people who get the reference, but maybe not as satisfying because it's not so personal. It's like history, personal to me, but like also out there and objective. So. Okay. Is Noah still playing or did he combust earlier? JD says have free books until today. Oh, that's right. The anniversary of the daydreaming. Daydreams on the Sherbet Shore, which is I think a middle grade. So if people like middle grade dreamy books, definitely a cool collaboration to look up. And it's a free book. So there you go, Ven. If you don't have any of JD's books, there's a freebie just today. Mojo says, my best-selling book is The Seven African Powers, the Orishas. So I made a book for each Orisha. Nice. And I'll do a little expansion pack. Smart. JD says, I've had some people ask me, and the smile confirms suspicions. So you're going to be a sphinx about it, is what you're saying. Okay. But we've got you in black and white here. You were just explaining the name. So people who know boxers may go back and be interested in that. Ven says no. Noah panicked and decided to stop. Oh, so he stopped ages ago. All right. Middle grade short stories. So daydreams is short stories. Excellent. And JD sharing that there is a Cuban band called Orishas. I wonder if it's Afro-Cuban. Is that a thing? I know Afro-Caribbean is something I'm familiar with, but I don't know Afro-Cuban music style. That'd be pretty fun. That'd be pretty fun. Well, everybody, thanks for joining me on this final Friday of July. I know it slips right through the fingers. We do have almost a whole week because next Friday is the first Friday of August. So I'll see you again. I'll see you again for the first Friday because that's going to be the kickoff for Agitation August. So stay tuned for what is going to happen on that stream. But yeah, we'll see you on Sunday if you're curious about an indie bookstore owner in Portland. And otherwise, regular Sunday, Wednesday streams, talking about books, talking about writing, talking about fun things in the community and fighting back. I think that's the key for this year. Fight back. So thank you, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Do what you need to. And happy reading. Oh, it's a hip hop duo. That's cool. And JD snuck in free books. All right. If I don't catch you, see you in August. Yeah. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.